Good morning, children. Good morning. Welcome to English class, session 6. I hope you all are fine by the grace of Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Last week, the topic we learnt is when the trees walked. Same topic we are going to discuss today also, the continuity of the topic. In that, we saw how trees are useful to us, the hobby of Ruskin Bond's grandfather, and how the plants and trees behaved with his grandfather. Yeah, these are the titles we have discussed. Today, we are going to discuss the same topic, but section 2 and 3. The title of the lesson is When the Trees Walked. When the Trees Walked. This is written by Ruskin Bond. He is a British Indian writer. Ruskin Bond is a British Indian writer, screenwriter, and children's writer. He served in film, TV, stage, and radio. He served in film, TV, stage, and radio. He is an award-winning writer. He is an award-winning writer, received the Padma Shri Award in 1999 and Padma Bhushan Award in 2014. He has received several awards. In that, the highest is the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. Padma Shri in 1999 and Padma Bhushan in 2014. Now we are going to look into how trees are useful to us. We are going to see certain pictures relevant to that. How trees are useful to us? You just tell me. Last week also we have discussed. Yeah. Trees give us rain. Trees give us rain. It gives oxygen and removes carbon dioxide. The fresh air what we breathe in, isn't it? Is given by the trees. All of you take a deep breath. Yeah, good. Trees also reduce soil erosion. Trees also reduce soil erosion. It prevents soil erosion by fixing its roots tightly in the soil. We also make wooden articles from trees. Could you just name certain wooden articles? The stick for dosa tawa. Now it comes in wood. Yeah, whatever we are using in house itself. Chairs, cots, dressing tables, wooden house, etc. is made up of trees. Made out of trees. Here, the life without trees. Can you imagine a life without trees? See, these are the wooden articles. Whether you have gone to a boat house, a wooden boat house. I think so. I have gone once, which is in Ernakulam. Okay. Here, a life without trees is a nightmare for Ruskin Bond. Yeah, the life without trees is a barren land, like that of the desert. Now we are going to see certain trees and animals which we are going to discuss in this lesson. This tree is relevant to the lesson. These trees are relevant to the lesson. What is this tree? Mango tree. Yeah, yummy mangoes. Have you tasted mangoes in this season? What is this? Tamarind tree. I hope so. You all have seen mango tree, tamarind trees. Even coral tree you have seen. Coral tree. See, this is coral tree. The next one is coral tree. The coral tree's leaves, flowers are red in color. The coral tree's flowers are red in color. See the blossom of the coral, how it welcomes everyone. Wow, superb. This is the coral tree. The next one is banyan tree. This is banyan tree. When we see banyan tree, we would like to swing on the tree by catching its roots, right? This is laburnum tree. This is laburnum tree. The flowers of the laburnum seems to be welcoming us inside the wedding hall. Yes, isn't it? Yes. Next, we are going to see certain animals which welcomes the author into the island. Those animals are, see, what is this? Cute. Wow, multicolor squirrel, striped squirrel. The animal first welcomes the author inside the island is squirrel. The next bird which questions the author, which challenges the author by asking, who are you, is nothing but the crow. This is the picture of coil. See, look at the picture of coil. Have you seen coil? Yes. Now, let us come to the lesson. Before learning the lesson, I would like to introduce certain new words and its meaning. We are going to learn certain new words and its meaning. Rambling, wandering. Rambling meaning wandering. Sprout meaning when seeds begin to grow small plants. Sprout, seeds begin to grow small plants. Next one, spectacular. Spectacular means eye-catching. Spectacular means eye-catching. Interfering. Interfering. Next word, interfering. Interfering means stopping or stopping in between. Interfering means stopping in between. The next word is beckoned. The next word is beckoned. Beckoned meaning to signal with your hand to ask the person to come closer or follow. By showing the pointing finger, we used to invite other persons closer, right? Yeah, that is beckon. Likewise, the trees and plants are inviting the author into the island. Coming to section 2, Ruskin Bond protested against his grandfather. Protested meaning opposed. Protested meaning opposed. Why Ruskin Bond is protesting against his grandfather? Because his grandfather was not satisfied with growing trees in their compound alone, but he also planted the saplings on the riverbed in the forest. Grandfather used to reply, "We are not planting them to improve the view, but for the forest and for the animals and birds who lives in the forest, which needs more food and shelter." Grandfather also conveys men need trees to keep the desert away, to attract rain, to prevent soil erosion. In order to prevent soil erosion, even for fruits, flowers, leaf, seed, and trees. Man depends on trees for everything. Man depends on trees for all his needs. But men are cutting down trees without replacing them. See, whenever they are extending the road, all the trees in the side of the road gets cut down. Are they replacing all the trees? I think so, no. If we have replaced also, we have to maintain the saplings at least for 2 or 3 years. Isn't it? Yes. Okay. Let me give you a suggestion. Whenever you are celebrating your birthdays, you started planting one sapling in your school or house. Then water the plant and maintain for about 3 years. See what is happening automatically. When you became 25 years, you have grown, you have brought 25 trees, right? Isn't it? Would you like to do that? Sure. I hope so. You will do. So whenever we are planting trees around us, it is for our future generation. It will be useful to them in many ways. See how Ruskin Bond and his grandfather are working enthusiastically in planting saplings. Yeah, sure. Whenever we are working in the garden, we feel happy, right? Yeah. Likewise, here, Ruskin Bond is helping his grandfather in planting the saplings in the island, which they have discovered newly. In the river bed, they are planting those trees. Why they are planting those trees in the riverbed? So whenever flood comes, this particular river floods during monsoon season. So the soil of the riverbed will be washed away. So in order to prevent that soil erosion, these trees are fixed by the grandfather. See, while going to the jungle, into the forest, on the way, his grandfather used to teach a song. It is the first environmental poem written by George Morris. It is the first environmental poem which is written by George Morris. First, let me sing the song. Next, you join with me. Is it okay? Okay, let me start singing. Woodman, spare the tree, touch not a single bough. In youth it sheltered me, and I'll protect now. Woodman, spare the tree, touch not a single bough. In youth it sheltered me, and I'll protect now. See how was the song? Yeah, Ruskin Bond, nice, thank you. Ruskin Bond has joined with his grandfather and they found an island in the dry riverbed with a small mango tree. This island was so common in the foothills of the Himalayas, which are completely dry in summer but flooded during the monsoon rains. A sudden thought came for his grandfather. If a small mango tree was growing here, why can't other trees? This thought came for his grandfather. So he said and started planting number of tamarind tree, laburnum tree and coral tree saplings and in the island. Thus they spent their whole day in the island. Do you know India has more than 17,000 species of flowering plants, Tamil Nadu with more than 5,000 species, nearly one-third of the flora of India probably has the highest diversity in India. Flora and fauna means nothing but plants and animals. Flora and fauna means plants and animals. Okay, coming to section 3. Here, the writer describes about the monsoon season. In section 3, the writer describes about the monsoon season. Ruskin Bond stated the magic touch of the rains which had brought life and greenness to the island. After few years, after they planted all the trees and plants, then came the Second World War. What comes after few years? The Second World War. Ruskin Bond was a small boy So he was sent to a boarding school. Since he was a small boy, he was sent to a boarding school, and during his holidays, he went to live with his father in Delhi. Whenever he get holidays, he used to live with his father, who is in Delhi. In the meanwhile, his grandfather sold the house and went to England. See, after planting all those saplings, without seeing the growth, his grandparents moved to England. After many years, Ruskin Bond also got settled in England. Some years later, Ruskin Bond returned to Degradun. Some years later, Ruskin Bond returned to Degradun. He visited his old house. Do you have such experience? Do you have such experience? After so many years, have you visited your grandparents' house in their native? Yeah. Here, Ruskin Bond got that experience of visiting his old house. There was no much change in that building of the house, because the people tree had taken its root to the ceiling. Previously, the roots was in the walls of the compound. Now the roots has been grown up to the ceiling. Next, a mango tree would sprout on the windowsill. A mango tree would sprout on the windowsill. But while he visited the island, he was amazed with the beautiful sight of the island. The island seems to be a small green paradise for this author. The coral trees, red flowers, blossoms, and it welcomes him. It invites him inside the island. While he was noticing, there was a squirrel, a quail, and crow. All was in the trees. See how it will be. The crow is challenging the author and asking, "Who are you? Who are you?" with a sweet mellow. But the trees behaved like as if it knows the author previously. In the same time, the quail is sitting over the top of the tree and giving a sweet tone. See, can you imagine? You just imagine by visiting a paradise. Have you imagined a paradise? Yeah. After many years, all the trees seemed to know the author. See, here the author is stating the trees are whispering among themselves and they are beckoning him nearer. Beckoned means, already I introduced signaling someone to come nearer or come closer. So here the trees are beckoning the author to come near them, and looking around, the author noticed other smaller trees which they have not planted. So yes, definitely the trees what they have planted is multiplied. Do you believe the trees will multiply? How the trees got multiplied? The seeds of the trees got spread over by the birds and the animals. The trees seeds got spread over by the birds and the animals, and due to rain it fall down and in the ground, and the saplings grow by themselves. Yes, thus the trees got multiplied. Now the poet accepts that his grandfather's statement, the trees will walk one day, is true. They were walking again, is a statement given by Ruskin Bond. In one small corner of the world, here the grandfather's dream had come true. What about your dream in planting such kind of trees? Children, whenever you eat food, while washing your hands, go and wash near a tree. It is equal to the watering a tree, isn't it? Even our principal in our school, he has given lot of importance for trees, and all the water has been diverted towards the ground. Groundwater management has been perfect in our school. So likewise, here Ruskin Bond would like to state the importance of trees in whatever manner he would like to explain, he stated through this lesson. Thank you for observing the class. The question answers, notes, everything will be given through WhatsApp. Please go through the lesson. Learn all the meanings, new words, and question answers for this particular lesson. I would like to ask certain questions from what I have taught you. According to the author, the tendril was moving towards grandfather because why it is moving? It need light and warmth, did not like the light and warmth, wanted to be near grandfather, wanted to escape from the winter. Which is the correct answer? That tendril wanted to be near grandfather is the answer. Good. You have observed nicely the class. Thank you very much.